Alex Pereira is feeling pretty confident that the UFC will back the idea of a boxing match between him and heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk. This comes after Usyk mentioned that he wants Pereira to be his retirement fight. Speaking to TNT Sports, he said, "First is who wins the next fight on February 22nd. Next, maybe a show fight with Alex Pereira. Maybe, why not? Alex will be defending his UFC light heavyweight title against Magomed Ankalaev next month at UFC 313. In response to Usyk's comments, Alex said, "I've said that before that I would really like to do a boxing match and was asked against who. I said it would have to be against the champion, and he's the champion, and now he's given an interview and mentioned my name. That's something I want, and he also wants it, and both organizations, boxing and the UFC, are working kind of together now, so I believe this fight can happen." Joaquin Buckley has issued a warning to Belal Muhammad about the potential dangers of moving up to middleweight. Recently, Belal mentioned that he was considering a move to middleweight and claimed that he could easily defeat both Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland. However, Buckley strongly disagrees. Buckley, who recently moved back down to welterweight after back-to-back losses to Nassourdine Imavov and Chris Curtis, is currently on a 6-fight winning streak since the move. He cautions Belal to reconsider his statement, emphasizing that middleweights hit significantly harder, and he doesn't believe Belal has the ability to take Dricus down.
Now, you see Belal Muhammad talking about he wants to move up, right? He could be double champ. Belal, I'm gonna just warn you right now. You don't have the tools nor the weapons to beat a person like Dricus. You're not gonna be able to take Buddy down. I'm just being honest with you, bro. You're not gonna be able to take Buddy down, nor will you be able to knock him out with them pillow hands. And no matter how much you think that, okay, I can see all the holes in this game, even if you beating up Dricus, like I said before, he's just gonna keep coming and coming and coming, and he ain't gonna stop. No, did he? Not gonna stop. He gonna always have that constant pursuit after you. And if you don't have things that's going to hinder him or pretty much slow him down or stop him in his tracks, he gonna beat you. And he gonna beat you in a way where you ain't never been beat before, right? Because now with a person like yourself, right, where you a 170 fighter, if you're moving up in a different weight class, bro, I'm telling you, bro, they hit a little bit different up there, bro. Trust me, I know. That's why my ass went down to 170, I swear to God. So if you're dealing with...
Dan Hooker isn't critical of Justin Gaethje's knockout loss to Max Holloway. Hooker, who's set to fight Gaethje at UFC 313 next month, points out that Gaethje's broken nose early on, along with the eye pokes later in the fight, played a major role in his loss. He believes if Gaethje and Holloway fought 10 times, each of them would end up with 5 wins. Hooker stresses how close and competitive that matchup really is.
Oh, you have to account for the best version. That's the only way that you can approach it. I feel like going back and watching that fight, I feel like it was a bit of a banana peel. I feel like he was doing. It was a very competitive fight. I think maybe even Justin was getting the better of it. Till spinning back kick lands on his nose. Like you throw that bloody thing 1,000 times, it doesn't land square on the nose and send you left. Like, and you know what it's like when you get your nose shattered in the first round. Like you can't breathe, you can't see. And then I think round 2, round 3, there was a couple of eye pokes. So now the copper can't breathe, he can't see. He's got Max Holloway standing in front of him. So it's like I don't take too much from that fight. Like even like stylistically or technically, I don't take too much of that fight. I think those two fight 10 times. I think Max wins 5, Gaethje wins 5. I think the what most people take away from that fight is that Max outclassed Gaethje, but I don't think it's that. I don't think that's from my opinion. Looking at that fight, I think it was just a bit of a banana peel fight, and that the gods of war did not take it. Yeah, it's not his. It just wasn't his night, and the finish is the finish, and it's like you can't take so many incredible moments in your favor for a decade, and then one goes the other way, and then you don't know what it is, or you can't accept it you can't accept it for what it is.
Gregory Rodriguez has spoken out after his knockout loss to Jared Cannonier this past weekend. RoboCop had nothing but respect for Cannonier, but explained that he ran into major issues after cutting weight, which impacted his body's performance during the fight. He shared this message on his Instagram. "It's my birthday today, and even though it was a tough day at work, I'm grateful for everything God has done and continues to do in my life. Big thanks to the UFC team for the opportunity. I'm truly honored to have shared the octagon with the number 7 in the division. Cannonier is a highly experienced fighter who taught me a lot in this fight. I saw several details that can be improved. Things will be changed. Winning fight of the night was a gift for 2 warriors who weren't afraid to go to battle. Most people don't know this, but I had serious issues with recovery after my weight cut. My body just wasn't responding. I keep wondering how things would have played out if I had been at 100%. Chael Sonnen doesn't think Alex Pereira will stick around in the light heavyweight division for long. Pereira is currently in camp, getting ready to defend his title against Magomed Ankalaev next month. Chael believes that win or lose, Pereira will make the jump up to the heavyweight division after that fight. On his YouTube channel, Chael said, if Pereira wins, he's going to be looking for something else to do, and if Pereira loses, he's gone. I feel like many of you have forgotten how Pereira got to 205 pounds. He did not get to 205 by cleaning out 185. He got to 205 by losing at 185. That's what opened the door. No belt, no vacate, a move right up. So no matter what happens after Ankalaev, things are going to be very different for Pereira. I predict he's moving up, and the ticking time bomb of John Jones and Tom Aspinall carrying this on and dragging this out, that time bomb reaches midnight as soon as Pereira is done with his piece of business with Ankalaev, win or lose. Stephen Thompson has no interest in fighting for BKFC. On a recent episode of the Overdogs podcast, Wonderboy shared that BKFC president David Feldman approached him at an event and asked when his UFC contract was up. Wonderboy said he just doesn't see himself making the switch to bare-knuckle fighting, especially since there are no kicks involved.
Him bare knuckle, but I'm sure he's punched someone at a bar before.
Oh, 100%, dude. I mean, he's got to have. He's got to. That's one thing, man. Because bare knuckle came to Greenville, South Carolina. And I went to it, and I think the owner was like, yo, Wonderboy, when is your contract up with UFC? I'm like, dude, don't even, I'm not Mike Perry, bro. I ain't got it. I ain't got it, dude. I don't think I can do the bare knuckle, bro. You guys, y'all are different animals.
But your legs, though, your legs are such a weapon.
Dang. I mean, if there was kicking, still, I don't even think I could do it if there was kicking, man. You guys... I mean, I don't know if have you broken your hands in bare knuckle yet?
Man, I haven't gotten them checked, but...
Eric Nicksick has admitted he made a mistake by publicly criticizing Sean Strickland after his loss to Dricus Du Plessis. Nicksick called the performance uninspiring and suggested Strickland reassess his commitment to MMA, saying he preferred to coach fighters aiming for world championships rather than those in it for the money. In response, Strickland announced that Nicksick wouldn't be cornering him in future fights. He also called Nicksick an influencer for sharing his opinion on a podcast instead of addressing the issue privately.
God damn it. Because I like Eric. He's a friend of mine, and he's going to continue to be a friend of mine. Will he probably be in my corner? Probably not. The only reason why I'm making this video is because Eric had to go do a fucking podcast and become an influencer. So now I got to kind of explain myself.
Matt Brown recently weighed in on the situation, stating that he doesn't believe coaches should publicly criticize their fighters. Eric responded to Matt, writing, I agree, Matt. Looking back at it, I made a mistake. My true intentions were to try and motivate him publicly, and that was a miscalculation on my part. Dricus Du Plessis is not holding back when it comes to Belal Muhammad. After Belal talked about moving up to middleweight and challenging him for the title, Dricus made it clear he's not taking him seriously. He pointed out that the UFC doesn't even seem to favor Belal and doubts they'd ever offer him a title shot at 185. Dricus also thinks Belal is just too small for the division, claiming he'd simply step on his head if they ever fought.
Along those lines, Belal Muhammad, I can't even remember the way he fights. I don't know. The man, has he ever finished anyone? All right. Well, happy for him. No, he's just, I mean, I like how he acts as if he has a choice to ever go up to 185. Like, the UFC will never let him. Like, if he wants to do that, he would have to, abandon his belt. He would give up his belt, vacate, and go up to 185. And there's no way they give him a direct title shot. There's no way. The UFC doesn't even like Belal Muhammad. So what makes him think that he hasn't even defended his belt once? I don't know why he's definitely better on Twitter than he is in fights. I have to say that. 100%. Have you seen the size of the man? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna get somebody to help him? Is he gonna sit on somebody's neck? How's it gonna work? He's the smallest. I couldn't believe that he's at 170 when I saw him. I couldn't believe that he fights at 170. I step on his head and it's over. That's how that fight goes.
Belal Muhammad immediately responded to this interview on X, writing laughing, crying emojis. He said, "He can barely walk without tripping over his own feet. He ain't touching me." He followed up with a gif of Dricus getting taken down and wrote, "This guy's gonna beat me," with a laughing, crying emoji. And that's gonna wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos.